Buongiorno guys, good morning. Today is day 2 in Rome, and today what we're going to do, we're going to be going over to the Colosseum. Now we got a guided tour through Get Your Guide, and I'll leave a description with that information down below if you wanted to take a look at what it is that we're doing, and maybe if you want to book it yourself. But today we're going to be going to the Colosseum through a guided tour. We're going to be going through the underground tunnels and the Gladiator's Arena on the main floor. In addition, we're going to be going to the Roman Forum and Palatine Hill. I think that's what's called, Palatine Hill. But we're going to be going to all of these 3 areas as part of the guided tour experience. We're really excited. This is something my dad was really looking forward to. So this is going to be his highlight of the trip. But yeah, I'm really excited to see this. Let's go. On our way to the Colosseum right now. My dad's been looking forward to this. Are you excited? Yeah. So we met up with our guided tour, and this one was done by Get Your Guide. I'll leave information on the description link below, but with this itself, as you can see, they do leave with a pack and also with the earpieces, so that way you can be listening to your guide as you go inside, since a large portion of this whole area, as you can see from the background itself, is really crowded, and this is through several of the tours that are here. There's several tours in the area and several people here visiting in town, so just so that way you can hear your guide throughout the process, even through all the noise. But right now what our plan is, we're going to be going underground. From there, we'll make our way up to the Gladiator stage itself, then go to the second floor, which is the perspective of the audience itself, just kind of looking down at the Gladiator show and experience. From there, we'll be going to the Roman Forum and finishing off the tour by going to Palatine Hill. So we have a full day ahead, and we're excited. Let's take a look. Just got inside the Colosseum, so right now we're switching off with the archaeologists, and then we're also switching out our packs. that way we can now listen to the archaeologist tour guide as we do the underground tour. So we switched out the packs, so now that way we can listen to now the newer tour guide. Then after the underground, then we'll switch back to our original tour guide. So these areas here where they would keep the animals before they would take them up to battle with the gladiators. And they would have a bunch of different animals here in those areas, depending on the size of the animal. So this whole area here was underground. But if you take a look up here, this wooden piece was later rebuilt since the original Gladiator floor was brought down. And then they rebuilt the top part. From up there, that's where the gladiators would battle. And then down here is where they would have the animals and all of the gladiators in their own areas. All of these here would be like the hallways from the underground area. Now down here is more likely pitch black, just complete darkness, with these small hallways.
Oh, damn.
All of this. What happened?
I almost smacked my head right
It wasn't tall people friendly. So this area down here where we are would be considered the underground section. But if you take a look up there, where those people are, that's where the Gladiator Arena stage would be at. But since over the years it did collapse, now they just rebuilt that section there just to give you a visual of where it was. Down here, all this would be the underground section of the Gladiator floors. Now remember, it was very pitch black down here. So they would use a lot of more so fire, torches to be able to light up this place because it was so dark being underground. And then up there would be the battlefield. And these itself were the 3 different levels. Down there is the underground, which is where we were. Then you see this here, which was the Gladiator Arena where they would battle. And then you have the second floor where you see those people. That would be the perspective from the audience looking down to the stage here, which is where they would battle. And then after battle, they would go underground to the underground tunnels where they had all the animals and the gladiators at. What do you think of it so far, Steve?
It was amazing. Very amazing.
Now, from here, what we did, we just left with the archaeologist who did the underground tour portion, and then we switched back to our original tour guide, and then you switch the audio packs so we can hear her. And now we're back with our tour guide through Get Your Tours. Now from here, we're going to be going over to Palatine Hill and the Roman Forum. Overall, this has been just a surreal experience to be able to go into the Colosseum, touch the columns itself, and then just know how much history there was in the Colosseum, especially with it being so many centuries back, right?
Yes.
What did you think of the Colosseum, Mom?
Well, I liked it.
What was your favorite part of it?
The underground.
The underground?
Uh-huh.
So what did you think of the Colosseum? Because that was one that you wanted to see the most. ¿Qué se te hizo?
It was fun. It was cool.
What was your favorite part?
Well, the underground.
The underground, probably?
Yeah, I say the underground.
I think for me, I liked it the gladiator stage area, just so you can kind of see like the entire layout, like from the audience, but being in center stage. I thought that,
floor.
yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So the Roman Forum here would be the area from which Rome started. So this itself would be more so of the small town, the small city from which Rome started, and from there it expanded into the large city that it is. If you take a look around, you can see several of the structures, the floor plans of which where the buildings were. You can see columns that are kind of like broken down, statues that are kind of broken down too throughout the area, so you can kind of get a picture of how it looked like at that time. But again, it's just more so broken pieces, putting pieces together really. But it's a really cool experience just being able to see the whole area from here. I mean, just take a look here in back of me. This itself would be one of the columns, but if you think about it, this itself would have been more so of a large set of columns from there. This one in front of me as well. You can see that it's columns there, but it's incomplete. Obviously throughout the years they kind of break down, but as far as for the city here itself, I know they're trying to preserve as much of it as they can, dating centuries back. So for the most part, a lot of the main walkways, people are able to walk through the Roman Forum, and then they have areas that are blocked off, and those areas are more so to keep its originality from what is left. Really cool.
Or
Going up Palatine Hill right now through the ramp. I mean, the name says it itself. It's definitely a hill on your way up to get the best view of the entire Roman Forum from the top. But I'm definitely tired. Come on, Mom. You're almost there. Now just take a look at this. This whole area here would be the Roman Forum, which at the time, just like Palatine up here, was more so of the area from which Rome first started. From there, it expanded out into the large city that it is today. But this, along with Palatine Hill, would be where Rome started. So we finally made it to the top, long hill up, but take a look at this view. You can see the Colosseum there. That overlooks the Roman Forum. So right now we are on our way to the Spanish Steps, but along the way we stopped and got some gelato. For that itself, it was really good. We had to get a couple of them, but now we're on our way to the Spanish Steps right now. I can kind of see it already right now off in the distance. After that, we're gonna go and have dinner at this Italian pasta place, pretty close by where our house is, and just basically call it a night. So luckily I still do have some battery juice left, but take a look at the Spanish Steps. You can see the church just right up there, and then all of the steps down here behind. Now these steps here are busy literally at all hours of the day. Morning time, right now I want to say it's like around 7 o'clock-ish, and look how busy it is. But that up there would be the church, which overlooks the entire area back here. And there's the view from the Spanish Steps. So then with that said, we'll wrap it up. Tomorrow we'll be going to Florence, but that concludes our trip here in Rome. Hope you have a good night, and I'll see you on the next video.